Hmm. Well, I tried to wait until Jenna Moon was done. Hello, Remy. Um, I can't wait much longer because uh I have to get ready for a family party, family get together. So you and I can talk, Remy, just you and me. How have you been, Remy? Come on, there's got to be somebody else. Hey, D Rod. Like I said, I'm not going to stay on long. Just and I tried to wait till dinner. I rescheduled it. Um, but I have to start getting ready for a party, which is a 90 themed party. You know, well, the 90s doesn't seem that long ago to me. You got your brother's wedding tonight. Don't call it whack ass. Come on. I mean, in the 90s, all I wore was dress suits and a uniform. I was always working, it seemed. So I don't know what to wear. Oh, she just ended it. I know, but I don't know what to wear. Put some boots. I don't have any like, back in the 90s, what was popular was like band t shirts, like rock and roll bands and shit. But I don't have none of that stuff. I even looked up 90s fashions. Because, like I said, in the 90s, I was raising a kid, I was working my ass off. So I don't know. I'll show up in something. Most they can do is, hello, Nadia's Kitchen. Long time no see. And I hate that Jenna and them's having rain and shit. Anybody having rain that had plans, I'm sorry. It's absolutely beautiful here. Is it like Nirvana 90s or Gangsta 90s? Uh, Remy, I don't know. 90s. Hey, Angela Critters. I mean, I guess I could put on some baggy jeans and some men's boxer shorts and a big shirt and a big gold necklace and let the jeans hang down to my knees. I don't know. Good for you, D Rod. What an exciting day. What an exciting day. Hello, Carla. Yeah, we've had rain for the last few days, and then yesterday it was just cloudy, but a cool front came through because we were in the 99s and that, and now it's in the 80s, and it's just freaking great, man. This is the kind of weather that, hello, Ben. This is the kind of weather that I used to love when I was in Florida because this is what it would be like in like December, January, February. Would be in the 80s, sometimes the 70s. But people that go to Florida in July, God bless their hearts. God bless their hearts. Because I live down there and July is so hot. I mean, it's hot here, but I don't know. But no, I wanted to it's hot in the west. Yeah, my brother just left for Vegas, which is kind of why I'm like stuck home this weekend. Well, I'm not stuck home. I'm going to go to a family get together here in a little bit, but I had to stay close to home because he's in Vegas and I didn't have anybody to watch his dog. I could find somebody to watch Lolly. I mean, she's 15 pounds, but like I said over on Jenna's, it's a little harder to find somebody to watch a 180-pound, 190-pound mastiff. Florida's a different type of heat. No, Remy, hot is hot. I lived on the beach. The only difference is Florida almost always has a breeze if you're close to the water. To me, it's no different. Hot is freaking hot. But either way, what I wanted to get into is I've really, really been studying back. Okay, I don't know if you all remember the oh my God, I can't believe I can't even say it right now. Menendez trial. The two boys from the affluent family who slaughtered their parents back in, I'm trying to find the date. I know it was in August. It was in August of, I watched the entire trial on Court TV back then. August 20th of 1989. Yes, the Menendez brothers. Okay, so I'm wondering if you all think, okay, they were both given life in prison without the possibility of parole. In their first trial, now remember, they were tried separately, but in the same courtroom with different juries. In the first trial, it was declared a mistrial because the juries, both juries, were deadlocked. And if you remember the boys' defense, it was abuse and actually at some point being afraid for their lives. Yes, the whatever. I can't even talk this morning. Donna Baird, that is, yes, that is the whole crutch of the case. Menendez, yes. Was, okay, you had Lyle, who was the oldest brother. He was 21 at the time of the crimes. And you had Eric, who was 18 at the time of the crimes. Eric had confessed to his cousin by the last name of Cano, and I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Cano. And believe it or not, these men who have been in prison for almost 3 decades now still have support from their family. And if you go back and you watch the trial, what little bit you can get on YouTube, I mean, you can get bits and pieces. But Eric actually told his cousin when Eric was 12. Thank you, Sonia. About the abuse. Now, Lyle was the more stubborn one. So Lyle claims abuse for like 3 or 4 years when he was younger. Yes, emotional abuse off the charts with Jose. And that's why I'm wondering. The parents' name were Jose and Kitty. And that's why I'm wondering if today, if this would have happened in today's society, since the Me Too movement, the He Too movement, if these boys would have been convicted now and sentenced to life in prison. Maybe a conviction, but did they get their justice? Did Kitty and Jose get their justice? Because I am convinced that these boys were assaulted. I don't know how you can listen to their testimony. Now, remember, they had nothing to gain by killing their parents because Jose had already told them they were out of the will, okay? But they were still very affluent people. Jose had come from Cuba and worked himself from a dishwasher to a businessman in the film and music industry. And failure was just not acceptable for him. You could not fail. Eric was a hey top cop. Eric was a top-notch tennis player who was on his way to go to school at UCLA. He didn't want to go to UCLA. According to his testimony, he wanted to go further away, like Lyle did. Lyle went to Princeton. Lyle was also suspended from Princeton for plagiarism. And his dad went to Princeton. In a Ivy League school like Princeton, plagiarism is something that you would get um, totally expelled for. You would be kicked out. But Jose, with his power, was able to go to Princeton and convince him to only suspend him. Now, I want you to think about this. G- Have a good day, Lisa. Yeah, I'm getting ready. I got to get in the shower too. Even forcing him to wear a hairpiece. Yes. Um, Lyle started losing his hair at 14, and Jose was embarrassed by this. So Jose forced Lyle to wear a hairpiece. Um, I'm just wondering, like I said, would it be the same today as the outcome as it was almost 30 years ago? I don't think so. Now, remember, their first trial, it was a hung jury on both juries. They had two different juries, same courtroom, different attorneys, same prosecutors. Well, one prosecutor for Eric, one prosecutor for Lyle. Um, the abuse, there's no doubt these boys were abused emotionally, physically, sexually. There's just no doubt in my mind. But everybody says there's no evidence of it. Well, there is evidence of it because Eric told his cousin, who is now dead, he overdosed um, out of guilt because after his cousin was arrested, he felt guilt. I think he died in 2003. He felt so much guilt over those years for not going and telling somebody. But Eric had sworn him to secrecy because he was scared to death of his dad. Now, when Eric went to Lyle to tell him it was still happening to him, Eric was 17 or 18 years old, and he was still being abused. I mean, they were both still being abused, but yes. But Lyle confronted his father because Jose had always told Eric, if he ever told anybody, especially Lyle, because he knew how close these two boys were, that he would kill him, that Jose would kill him. Now, I want you to think of the scenario of the woman who's married to the abusive husband. Let's say he's a police officer, a very well known, well established person in the community that feels like they've got nowhere to go. You know, it doesn't exactly, Sonia, but they've got, they're scared. They can't go to the police because, who are the police going to believe? They're going to believe one of their boys in blue. Look at Bill Cosby just being released. So many people they're outraged at the fact that Bill Cosby was just released. But in reality, what got Bill Cosby convicted was somebody telling women lining up to tell the courts, what he had done to them. So all the boys had was their word. Now, I'm not saying that the way that they handled things was, because you can never go with you know, uh, vigilante justice. But I believe those boys became fight or flight. I believe they got into a mode of fight or flight. I believe they were scared to death of their father. Now, now Lyle knew about the abuse. He told his family, I know, Angel, but he told his father that I'm going to tell everyone, meaning I'm going to ruin you, Dad. And at that point, the boys felt like Dad was going to take them out before they were able to take him out. Now, Kitty, the mother, was a beauty queen back in her day. She married Jose, who had gone, I think she met him while he was in boarding school in Kentucky, or I don't know, not long after that. She was a debutante. Now, keep in mind, these men still have family that believe in them, that agree with not what they did so much, but they understand. Because even Lyle testified, yes, critters. Even Lyle testified to the fact when asked, why didn't you go to family? And Lyle said, because they are all afraid of my dad. So here's a very, very powerful man. Kitty was just a miserable woman who, come to find out, according to testimony, this is all allegedly because nobody was there, knew about the abuse, knew that it was going on, which only infuriated the boys more to know that their mother knew what Jose was doing to Eric. So as the story goes, there was testimony that Jose would sit in the stands. Jose and Kitty would sit in the stands during one of Eric's tennis matches and just say horrible, hello, Mr. P, say horrible things if he missed a shot. And then it got to the point that Eric was so hard on himself because he knew that if he missed a shot on the court, hey, Zam, that if he didn't take it hard upon himself, that his father was going to take it out on him, to the point that he made Eric walk home one time from a tournament because of his play. He didn't play up to Jose's snuff. Yes, Eric suffered from ulcers, which was probably due to stress. But now, hey, True Helper, now I'm wondering if this same case went on today, which there's a reporter by the name, I don't know his first name, but his last name is Rand, R-A-N-D. He's covered this case from day one. He's had interviews with and by the way, if I had an attorney, I would take Leslie Abramson over pretty much anybody in the country. But because she did a bang up job in the first trial. In the second trial, the judge would not allow any testimony of SA, sexual abuse. He would not allow any of it. He would not allow the tapes of where where actually Eric confessed to his crooked psychiatrist who taped it all and supposedly even told a woman that these tapes would be worth millions. And like I said, this is all allegedly. I'm only going by what was testified into court. I wasn't there that night, obviously. Yeah, Rob Rand. But I'm wondering if today, in today's society, where abuse is more recognized, people are believed more when they come forward with abuse. If the boys would have been sentenced as they were. I mean, the death penalty was on the table, but they were both convicted of first-degree murder. I think the prosecution took the death penalty off the table. I'm not sure, but do you all think during today's society, with people now recognizing that abuse does happen within the home, it's not always stranger danger? As a matter of fact, statistics will show you that the majority of abuse does go on inside of the home or by a close relative. Do you all feel like these boys, now men, would have gotten the same punishment, which was first-degree murder and life without parole? And then up until about 4 years ago, they've been separated. Since then, they've been put in the same prison, so at least they can be together. They've both married a couple different times, I'm sure. I don't know how many marriages they've had. But do you believe that, right, Angel? I feel like if this was to happen in today's society, that the boys, yes, Foxy Bot, there are some horrific tales by family that Kitty left the boys in department stores on purpose and would come back when someone found them acting grateful. And like I said, there's no way to, when the boys were on the stand, all you could do is to believe them or not. Um, I believe them. I believe these boys. I believed them back then. I remember this trial. Um, I just don't feel like in today's society that they would have gotten the punishment that they've gotten. I not saying that they don't deserve to be punished because, of course, they went in with shotguns and killed both their parents. Uh, and sadly, we can't just kill our abusers regardless of who they are. Uh, but I feel like today they would have been treated, their punishment wouldn't been as nearly strong as it was back in those days. Hey, Kim. And the reason I'm talking about this is because there's been new evidence. I don't think it's enough to get them a new trial. Happy Independence Day, Angel Roth. Miss you. I don't think it's enough to get him a new trial, but Rand has come across a letter that Eric had written to his cousin. Um, the tears were involuntary. I don't believe they. God, that case breaks my heart. I hope they get 5 to 8 years in therapy. Yes. I heard Arizona is bringing back the gas chamber. That's probably true because a lot of the drug companies are refusing to sell the drugs to um, our prison system because a lot of states don't believe in the death penalty. So a lot of the drug companies are refusing to sell those drugs. Like I said, I just feel like in my heart of hearts that if this trial was to be going on today, that those boys would have gotten involuntary manslaughter, maybe 10 years. I mean, look at Gypsy Rose. Um, was she justified in killing her mother? No. But did her mother torture her for all those years? Yeah, she did. The only difference is there was more evidence in the Gypsy Rose case because there were doctors, records where they had been to the doctor so many times. I'm sorry if I'm not reading the chat, but I just think that it would have been a different outcome. And like I said, Rand has come across, now he has found the letter that was written by Eric where the essay is spoken about again to his cousin. And he also has some sort of recording. And in the interview that I was watching, um, with Rand, and I don't know if it was Megyn Kelly or who it was, he was not able to release that recording. Again, do I think it's enough to get the boys out? No. Do I think there should be some sort of movement to petition the governor of California to pardon these young men and allow them to be free because I don't believe that they're a danger to society. I don't believe they were ever a danger to society. Did they do some shady shit after the killings? Yeah, I mean, they actually planned the killings. They felt like their dad was going to kill them because Lyle had told Jose that he was going to tell the world about what he was doing to Eric and what he had done to Lyle earlier in life. Jose was not going to have that. These boys became paranoid of their parents. Um, I just I'm in no way justifying vigilante uh, justice, and we can't get to a society like that. But with all the drama that's been going on YouTube and stuff, I've just decided to dig into old cases that keep me, that are interesting to me. Um, Now that they're together, they've adjusted well to prison, but they deserve a life now. Um, I'm not even going to go so far as to say they were wrongly convicted. They admitted to killing their parents. Uh, they did go on a spending spree after the killings. I believe that the kids at that point, and I say kids, like I said, Lyle was 21, Eric was 19, uh, 18, but I believe they felt free. I believe they felt free for the first time in their life. And they did go out and they did buy expensive watches and they did buy cars. And for the short time, uh, they were able to, be free, run the streets until they were actually, uh, apprehended, uh, declared suspects, and arrested and taken to court. I'm just, when I keep looking at the case and you can go on YouTube and you can catch so much of the trial. And you might be able to go into Court TV's what do you call them? Archives and find the entire trial. I'm not sure, but if you go onto YouTube and you watch part of these trials, there's no way these young men are lying. There's no way. They were broken boys. I totally agree with you, Sonia. And I believe if today that this case was going on today, that it would have been a totally different outcome because today we are more aware of abuse and people are more willing to come forward about it than they were almost 30 years ago, especially when it was somebody as powerful as Jose Menendez, their father, their mother. It was testified to that Eric didn't even know Lyle wore a hairpiece until his mother got angry at him one day and ripped it off his head in front of Eric. Now, how crazy is that? That those kind of secrets between two brothers that were so close could be kept because Jose didn't want anybody to know that Lyle had to wear a hairpiece. So I just really, really feel like these men deserve a second chance at life. I don't think they're a danger to society. I don't believe they ever were. They stood to gain nothing. The prosecution tried to make it where they would, yes, Angel. The prosecution tried to make it about money. But then the defense was able, Leslie Abramson, check her out, man. One of the best attorneys out there. Maybe not now, but 30 years ago. Uh, right, Layla, I agree. But the defense was trying to make it about money. They had nothing to gain. Jose had already told them long before this that they were, oh, I didn't know that Jay for Justice had this. I don't watch Jay, so I didn't know that she was covering it. And I feel bad. But it's something that has just been, consuming my last few days on YouTube. I was actually talking to Pixie one day, and we were talking about the drama and, old cases we could watch just to keep from watching the drama. And yes, close to the OJ case, yes. The toupee thing really bothered you. So again, in my opinion, I feel like in today's world, this would have been a whole different ballgame. I believe that the boys probably, because when you're convicting someone of something, you have to look at the circumstances surrounding. Are they mitigated? You have to look at the circumstances around the crime. Yes, it would have definitely. I agree, Glam. I feel like it would have been a totally different trial today because of the fact that people are standing up to their abusers. Um, and, yay, good. Finally, people are coming out and they're saying, I won't tolerate this anymore. You know, I'm not going to be treated like this. Um, Lolly snoring. I know. Someone just messaged me. So do you all, for the most, put a 1 in the chat if you think these men should be released from prison. Put a 2 if you don't think so. If you think they got life without and that's exactly what they deserve. I'll be interested to see. Yes, Sonia. Would they survive on their own with no money? Well, Angel says 1 and 2, it's hard. Not sure. My opinions on this case are not accepted by society. Mr. P says, I believe in our court system. Mr. P, we have what is considered the best judicial system in the world, but it is run by human beings and therefore stands to, if the essay is true, then 1. Conditional parole, Foxybot. Angela Critters, 1. I just don't know, True Helper, how the essay can be denied. I don't know how it can be denied. I don't believe that Eric, at 12 years old, made these horrible confessions to his cousin. I don't believe they started concocting this at 12 years old. I don't. Yes, they did let those boys free who married or who murdered Bulger, Jamie Bulger. You're right. Repeat offenders now. You're right. Or at least one of them. You're right, Sonia. I just don't think the Menendez boys, which they're not boys, they're grown men now, but I don't believe they would be a threat to society. Um, there's interviews out there with prison inmates who've been locked up with these guys that have said what an inspiration they've been. Men that were going to get out, men that had an out date, because these guys don't have an out date. It's life without. But, and as far as our judicial system, I try to believe in it. At times it has let me down. Casey Anthony, for one, it let me down, but I understood totally what happened in that courtroom, and the fact that they overcharged her with no more evidence than they had is the reason that Casey Anthony walked free. That is the reason they walked free, or that Casey Anthony walked free. They totally, totally overcharged her. Had they had charged her appropriately, I believe Casey Anthony would have been found guilty. But in that instance, I think the judicial system did let us down. Sorry, my brother called, the one that lost his son, and oh, good Lord, if you all only knew how mentally stressful. I can't even complain. I'm not complaining, but trying to be there for him is just it's hard. But I'm not complaining. It's my brother. It was my nephew. I'll always be there for him. I hate to jump from topic to topic, but yes, they were 18 and 21, and one of them had already been to Princeton and was suspended for plagiarism. That would have been Lyle. And again, talking about our judicial system, you know, I'm sorry, I watched the entire Casey Anthony trial. I'm sure a lot of us did, and they overcharged her. They didn't have enough evidence to to put on the table what they put on the table for Casey Anthony, which was the death penalty. And they didn't give the jury any other wiggle room. It was either this or it was nothing. And I'm sorry, but Jose Baez was able to get up there. He was able to put reasonable doubt. And maybe in that case, it worked the way it's supposed to, because, if our jurors are true to what they're sworn in to be or to do, then there was reasonable doubt. I know a lot of jurors on the Casey Anthony trial have spoken out and said, had anything else had been offered, they would have given it to her, because they believed there was enough evidence that, although it would have been circumstantial, a lot of cases are determined on circumstantial evidence. We don't have video of every crime being committed. If we did, wouldn't that be great? Oh, yeah, I saw that Foxy bot where the woman dumped the drink on her, or vice versa. I saw that where Casey Anthony called the cops, and now she's supposed to be. The Britney situation, I totally don't understand, Angel. I don't know how an adult can't get out from underneath something that was done when she was a juvenile. I totally don't understand that. I don't understand our court system just not making that null and void. I think her parents are horrible. I'm sorry, Mr. Spears, or whatever your name is. If you're out there, you're a horrible human being. Leave your daughter alone. She is a grown woman. She has made her way in this world. I don't even get the whole Britney thing, I swear. Free Britney. I totally agree, Angel. I don't know how they cannot just null and void every single thing that was done prior to her being an adult. How does that happen? You did videos on it? I'll have to go back and watch it, Sonia. But again, like I said, I've been thinking about the boys. We'll just call them the boys because for whatever reason, I'm having a real hard time pronouncing their name today. Menendez. And the more I thought about it, I thought they would have not gotten the same punishment that they got almost 30 something years ago. You know, it just, I don't believe they would have. I'm not saying they would have gotten off. I'm not saying they deserve to totally have not paid for their crimes. They massacred their parents, and we can't do that. Yeah, the screenplay that Eric wrote. Yeah, you're right. It didn't help. You're right, Angela. That didn't help. But I can understand why he would write a screenplay like that. Because I bet thoughts like that went through his head a lot about if they just weren't here. Hey, Pink, if my parents just weren't here, I wouldn't be suffering like this. So I can almost understand that screenplay, you know. But do we convict people on words written on a piece of paper unless it says? I mean, and there's no point in even arguing whether they did it or not. They did it. I just think in today's society that it would have been a different outcome. I really do. Sounds to me that Mr. Spears is broke and he wants to further deepen his pockets. Oh, I definitely agree with you on the Britney Spears thing, True Helper. Um, yeah, poor George Anthony. Yeah, I totally agree. But, and you know what? Speaking of the Anthonys, don't you think it's fascinating that that marriage has stayed together after all of this? And they're a difference of opinion about their daughter? I think that's fascinating. That marriages today break up over things such as money and infidelity, and but yet that marriage has been able to withstand the loss of their grandchild, one parent not wanting to believe it was Casey and the other parent believing that it was, knowing in his heart of hearts. I think that's amazing that that marriage has withstood this. I'm sorry, I do. I mean, people get married today, and if they find out their significant other eats his soup too loud, they get divorced. So I find that kind of intriguing as well. So, but and yes, me and Brian are gonna do the damn Darley thing. I've got to get in touch with him. When I say the damn Darley thing, it's because I've been procrastinating so much because there's just been, and it's going to take time. It's going to be a very lengthy live stream. And you guys know me, I don't like to be on for longer than an hour. So, no soup for you, the soup Nazi. um, but yes, we're going to do it. I will talk to him. You know, this is the holiday weekend. People have plans. But I will talk to him probably Monday. I think I have a doctor's appointment. It might be Tuesday. I'm not sure. Either way, I will talk to him and we will, I know, Angel, and we will go over the Darlie Routier case. Again, it won't be so much about guilt and innocence as much as it will be about whether or not she deserves a new trial or if they should just go ahead and put her appeals through the federals and just follow through with her conviction, which is the death penalty. Yeah, definitely might have to do it in 2 parts. Yeah. But guys, I appreciate you coming in here. I almost canceled it because Jenna Moon went live and it was just getting, we were crossing over each other. But I appreciate you coming in here, having a discussion with me. Um, as far as the, Menendez brothers, I personally feel today they would have gotten a whole different outcome on their trial. I think the fact that the judge would not allow you too, Pink. I saw where you called the other day. I need to call you back, but I think the fact that the judge would not allow the testimony of the SA in their second trial was wrong. Because that was the basis of their anger towards their parents. And when you find out that they really didn't have anything to gain by killing their parents, you kind of needed that as you know, as a go-to thing. But guys, once again, fireworks started last night here. I'm sure they're going to be. You left a voicemail. I checked my voice. Something's wrong with my voicemail, then, Pink, because I checked them and I didn't get it. But I mean, I'll definitely call you back. But the fireworks are starting. They started here last night. I had Sam, the 190-pound mastiff, sleeping on the floor below me, and Lolly up by my head. And with her skin thing going on, she stinks to high heavens. But we did it. Put your pets up. It was a good one. Damn it, Pink. All right, I'll call you after the holiday. I'll call you after the holiday, Pink. And do me a favor, guys. Put your pets up. If you're leaving, put your TV on, put a radio on, whatever, because more pets do end up missing, running off this weekend than any other weekend of the year, any other time of the year. But looking forward to having a panel if somebody wants to come up and give their opinion on. If I had more time, we'd do it today. But I have to get ready to go to a family get together, jumpy house, slip and slide, the whole deal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You have to reenact your outrage. Okay, Pink, I'm looking forward to it. So, guys, get out there, get to some sunshine if you're able. If it's raining, make the best of it. Play some cards, do a board game, watch some movies. Um, make the best of it. Yeah, I hate it for the pets too, Angela. Like I said, I'm going to a party today, which we'll probably run into tonight. So when I leave, the TV will be up. There'll be a radio playing in the back of the house so that hopefully the pups don't get scared. But I'll be back early enough that 3 days of rain. Yeah, we had that last week. But guys, I appreciate you coming in here. I appreciate you supporting my stream. I just appreciate you. So have a good weekend. Take care of those puppies and kitties, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys. See you around the tubes.